This is Antonio. He is the merchant of Venice. Because he has a lot of ships, he is the merchant of the place title.
This is Bassanio. He's a nobleman who is careless with his money. He's Antonio's best friend and a suitor to Portia.
This is Portia. Her father died, and because he was a rich man and left her all the money, she is a wealthy heiress.
This is Shylock. He's a rich Jew and a moneylender. He's an intelligent businessman who believes that since he is a moneylender, charging interest is his right.
Antonio is a wealthy, respected, and popular man. He has a lot of friends, but his best friend is Bassanio.
Bassanio was in love with Portia, a lady from Belmont near Venice. She was a very rich lady because her father died and he left her all his money.
Because Portia didn't live in Venice itself, Bassanio had to travel to win her heart. But he didn't have money, so Bassanio asked Antonio for money. Antonio didn't have money at that time because all his money was with his ships at sea, so Antonio went to a moneylender.
This man's name was Shylock. Antonio and Shylock were enemies, so this was a perfect chance for Shylock to take revenge on Antonio. Shylock and Antonio made a deal. If Antonio did not pay Shylock back in 3 months, Shylock could take a pound of flesh out of Antonio's body.
1 year ago.
Before Portia's father died, her father made a plan. He wanted to make sure that his daughter found a good husband. He made 3 boxes, a gold one, a silver one, and a lead one. If you want to win Portia's heart, you must choose the right box. Every box had something different written on it.
On the golden box were the words, "Choose me, you will get what many men want." On the silver box were the words, "Choose me, you will get what you should get." On the lead box were the words, "Choose me, you must give everything that you have." Before Bassanio, there were 2 princes who also wanted to marry Portia, but they chose the wrong box.
Finally, Bassanio arrived at Belmont. Portia fell in love with Bassanio right away. She wanted him to choose the right box, but she couldn't help him. The right box was a lead one, and of course he chose the lead box. Portia was the happiest girl alive, and she gave Bassanio a ring. She said that if he stopped wearing it, it would be the end of their love.
Happiness reigns in Belmont until Bassanio is brought a letter from Antonio. In the letter he wrote that his ships were lost, and so he lost all his money, which means Antonio has to give Shylock a pound of his flesh. Bassanio leaves instantly for Venice, with money which Portia gives him to pay the bond.
After Bassanio left, Portia thought of a clever way to save Antonio because Shylock would never accept the money from Bassanio. Shylock wanted a pound of flesh from Antonio. Portia asked a friend of hers to lend her his judge clothes and notes. Now Portia pretended to be a judge and she also left to Venice.
At the court, the Duke didn't know what to do because Shylock still wanted his pound of flesh. The Duke was brought a letter that explained that a young judge, actually this was Portia dressed as a judge, arrived to judge Antonio and Shylock. Portia was very clever and she said that Antonio signed a paper that Shylock could take a pound of flesh. But there was nothing on that paper about Antonio his blood. If you cut away a pound of flesh out of somebody's body, it will spill blood. He could not spill Antonio's blood. If he did, he would lose all his money and land.
Shylock didn't want to lose everything, so he agreed that he'll take 3 times the amount of money that Antonio borrowed, which didn't make Portia happy because he didn't want it before, so he couldn't get his money back.
The court wasn't over yet. Actually, Shylock tried to kill Antonio because he still wanted a pound of flesh. And if you tried to kill someone back then, it means you must give all your money away to the state and to the person you tried to kill. But Shylock didn't agree. He didn't want to live without his money, but Antonio had an idea. Shylock, his daughter, ran away with a guy she was in love with. Because Shylock didn't accept their love, so Shylock must give all his money to his daughter when he dies, and Shylock agreed. Bassanio and Antonio were very grateful to Portia. They tried to give her money, but she refused to take it. But Bassanio insisted that the judge received something. So Portia decided to play a joke on Bassanio and asked Bassanio for the ring Portia gave him. Bassanio didn't know what to do, but eventually gave the ring.
Everybody went home, and Portia was very angry at Bassanio because he gave away his ring. She cried and said, "I'll never love you again!" Then Portia gave a ring to Bassanio and said, "Here's a new one, don't lose it again." But actually it was the same ring. Now Bassanio realizes that it was Portia who was a judge. At first he was very surprised, but then they were very happy about it.
Portia had other news. She gave a letter to Antonio. The letter said that his ships weren't lost at sea, they were safe, and everybody lived happily ever after.
Except for Shylock.